So, life update. I'm not pregnant. I feel like when you're 32 and you say you have news, you have to start with that. We moved to Switzerland a couple months ago now, and I'm finally getting around to recording the video to share that. I am so excited to share this country with you and some of the amazing aspects of it, which I've already had the pleasure of experiencing. But in terms of, if you're wondering, why the hell did you move to Switzerland? Like, random choice. Great question. So my husband, when we were in the UK, his job opportunities there were not so fabulous, but a friend of ours in March of this past year was mentioning like, hey, had you two ever considered Switzerland? To which we were like, no, we've never thought about Switzerland for 5 seconds. Like, why do you ask? And he had just mentioned that there was a desperate need of people in his field in the country. And for me, it's very international and sort of minimal bureaucracy to run a business, which is high on my priority list. And so, while we absolutely loved living in the UK, loved London more than you could possibly imagine, we have actually decided that we want to do an annual UK trip because that's how much we enjoyed being in the country. In terms of finding a place that works for both my husband's job and my job, we decided to test out Switzerland. We have only been here a short amount of time, but I can already tell you I am highly impressed by the country. I am so excited to take you on the walk, which we've been going on very consistently, and share some fabulous things about the country. It is just mind-blowing. Like, you hear that Switzerland always tops the list of the rankings of like best places to live or best countries on earth or whatever. And when you come here, you really do feel like these bunch know how to operate a country. So, not to mention, it is so international, which is kind of random because in my whole life, I've never met anyone who had, well, no, I know one or two mastermind ladies who live here, but when the digital nomads talk about traveling, Switzerland is never on the list of places that anyone ever talks about, which does make sense. It is not somewhere like, Asia or Thailand or Bali or something, which is, cheap to get started in or anything. But anyways, if you want, not to sell Switzerland, but big fan. Well-running, beautiful place, amazing nature, incredible ski hills. I cannot wait for winter. I am going to go skiing more than I've ever done in any other year. I can guarantee that. But anyways, without further ado, let's go for my walk. I can share a little bit more of the country and give you a ton of more life and business updates on the way. Okay, we came across this the other day. This is a little honesty shop where you can get all your bits and basics right from the farmer 365 days a year, 24 hours a day. And it's so lovely. You can even get chicken soup. Little gift bags. And then in terms of paying, you can either put it in the honesty box or you can pay digitally. How amazing. Pretty sure they just did a sweet potato harvest. That looks like what that is. So, second update, if you are a die-hard follower, then you would know that I created a second YouTube channel and posted 3 videos on it, and I decided I'm actually not going to continue with it. So, that content was going to be a lot more lifestyle, personal brand type content, and I quickly realized influencers, I mean, I always knew that influencers were hardworking people, and as much as people want to tease them, these bunch work hard. But the thing which I realized was the sacrifice in your personal life which you make for that. And I just realized I went on a vacation. I was on that trip and I was like, I should be filming this. I was like, I just don't want to take out the camera. I just don't want to do it. And that's the style of content which would have made sense on that channel. And I realized, well, I love doing a video like this where I'm taking you outside of my office and going into the world and all those things, showing you a bit of life. I don't actually want to film every vacation. And for example, on the weekend, I went to Oktoberfest and it was a riot. It was so much fun. But I didn't have to, I took like 2 or 3 clips, but I didn't have to film the entire thing. And I was like, you know what, that's really nice. And so I definitely think with anything in business, you're allowed to try things. You're allowed to test them. You're allowed to, you'll never know. You'll never be able to make a decision on something if you don't take some action and try. And so after having posted 3 videos on the channel, I just realized, you know what? Don't want to film my vacations. Want to keep my like every day. If I host a dinner party, I don't really want to film it. Creating educational content on a business channel like this is actually so much easier than doing influency style content. And so I'm very happy to continue with what I have, and do a video like this every now and again for sure is of interest to me, but I don't want to have to do that all the time. And so I decided that idea which I had to build that business and that audience is not one which I'm loving. Could still have a different alternative idea of how I want to build that in the future, but for now that's being put on pause. Oh, the other thing was I was chatting to a business friend of mine. If you've been in the Squarespace world for quite a while, you'll remember someone named Nisha Woolery. Nisha is incredible. And so she was a Squarespace website designer. She's gone on now to talk more about systems and processes and running a simple business, which I love. But she, on the side of her business, also actually started a more personal YouTube channel with her partner. They bought a boat and have been renovating it, and so that is what the other YouTube channel is about. And so she mentioned 2 things to me, because she's had experience. She's done online courses, she's done services, she has now also done like brand partnerships and run this other YouTube channel. She was saying the amount of hassle that one of those brand partnerships takes is banana. The amount of back and forth emails, difficulty with your like publishing schedule and everything is really annoying. And that's a major way that that type of content is monetized. And the other thing which she mentioned is she gets recognized significantly more now. So that her business Instagram has, I don't know, maybe 30,000 followers or something, I think. And this YouTube channel, the boat renovation YouTube channel, has many less YouTube subscribers. But she said with that type of content, people have, in a positive way, such a deeper connection with you, which is amazing. It's like on the downside, you get recognized a lot. And that's a question which I started thinking about. Do I want to be just out and about in everyday life and constantly getting recognized? Yeah, I think there's some real downsides to that. Like if you thought about that for yourself, would I want that every day? Famous people really, it's a major downside when you think about it realistically for your own life. And so with that style of content, I think that would be a lot more frequent. I've been recognized like twice in my business over the past 7 years. And it's always been really lovely and everything. But if that was to happen on a very frequent basis, I'm not sure how much fun that would be. Update number 3. The content on this channel is going to change slightly for the immediate future, next couple months, let's say. Reason being, well, business content is very easy to produce. Sit down, have your idea, maybe stick it in a teleprompter, read it off. It's pretty simplistic. Well, there's effort to it, but it's easier than some other content you could create for sure. One thing which I found the other day, I was admittedly at the end of a very long day on a Friday, and I was like, okay, I need to think of new content ideas. I need to, put the next pieces of content into the editorial calendar. And for the first time ever in 7 years, I did not have an idea. And of course I have zillions of ideas in my Asana, which I can just pull from and then put them onto the editorial calendar. But I was just like, I don't want to create any of these. I just don't want to talk about the same thing again and again and again. And so I was like, you know what? I need to do something to make the content more fun for myself to also produce. One of the things that I just love in business in general is chatting about business with business friends. And so I was like, you know what I'm going to do for the next little while? I'm just going to invite some friends of mine to have conversations about things I want to chat about. And that's going to be my content for the next little while. And I think just maybe adding a bit more variety. When I look at other people's content, they of course talk about whatever their business topic is, but they also mix it up with a bit more other content, whereas I feel like I stay very highly hyper specific just to my like educational pieces of content on my topic. But there's only so long that you can do that until you're like, okay, I kind of said it like 17 times. So gonna change it up a little bit. So that's my third update. Update number 4. We are actually, this house always reminds me of our house in Germany. It looks very similar. We're actually selling it. We haven't lived there in a while, so it doesn't really make a lot of sense for us to keep it. So it's on the market. I think we have a buyer, so it should be sold by the time you see this video. Okay, update number 5. Plans for the new year for the business. So getting close to the end of the year, which is when I do my annual planning and I start thinking about what I want to do in the new year. And this year I'm debating between a few things. I have 2 specific new business product service ideas, which I would be very excited to create. But I also try to remind myself of my core values in the business. Those core values are joy, efficiency, and integrity. When I think about what brings me joy, free time also brings me joy. And maybe for the first time ever, I might not launch anything new. And I think that also relates to efficiency. It depends. Then you have to take into account, oh, okay, are you bored? And therefore, is it more joyful to create something new? But then we have to think about efficiency. So anyways, I feel like my joy and efficiency are always, I'm trying to figure out what could be the best mixture. And I was chatting to a business friend who was basically saying, not all of your joy and excitement and things, it doesn't all need to come from your business. You can also just do your hobbies more. Enjoy your free time more. And I mean, that's the thing as business owners. We always start these businesses to have more free time. And then suddenly when it's just like, oh, it's just too easy. It's just going too well. Like I feel like I should be doing more, working more, or this should be harder. And it's like, no, well, that's actually what you built or what you intended to build. So maybe it's time to just start enjoying that thing. So anyways, currently undecided. I have these 2 ideas. I would be excited about those 2 ideas, but I'm not 100% sold on if I should implement those yet or if I should just scale what we're currently doing. But that is basically what's on my mind right now. But for right now, let's head back into the city. I'm going to meet my husband at the beer garden. Okay, so as you can see last night, we actually ended up not at the beer garden because they were preparing for Oktoberfest or something. So instead we went to a lovely restaurant on the water, on the river in the city, and it was lovely. But the more exciting thing is what is happening right now. We are just going to pick up the keys for a new long-term apartment. We were in a short-term rental right when we first got here while we were looking for a place, and we were extremely lucky. Apparently finding a place is exceptionally difficult, but the first place that we saw, we liked, we decided to take it, and so yeah. Anyways, can't wait to show you the inside. It is beautiful. I'm so excited by it. Honestly, walked in the other day, we got to see it last week again, and yeah, I'll cut to the clip where I actually show you the tour.